today's version of What's Become Clear to You. I'm Steve Wyckoff, and this is
Kevin Honeycutt.
And so Kevin and I get together occasionally, and we talk about what's become clear to us, and you've kind of been out and around the country, just got back from Arkansas. So Kevin, what's become clear to you?
Well, one, wherever I go, I meet a lot of excited teachers who want to try new tools to reach kids, to prepare them for the 21st century. They agree, and they're in a hurry to change. And I see systems that can't run alongside at that speed. So they basically saying, oh, slow down, we got to figure this stuff out. Those two things are incongruous. What happens, I think, is teachers cool off when they have to wait too long. They'll go back to the status quo, and we got systems people who aren't sure how to make this possible without breaking the law, and frustration on both ends.
So would they be breaking the law if they did these things?
Well, you know, if you're networked and you're talking to people, and me, I send out a plurk which forwards to Twitter, which forwards to Facebook. With one thing, I can talk to 4,000 people, one thing. And then I ask them, who's doing this legally? And I get 10, 15, 20 responses from all over the country. Well, now I've got those responses, and I could give those to that person who says it's illegal if they want it.
Now, hang on. Are they doing it legally, or are those 10 people breaking the law?
I think that those people researched and found a way to do these things, an exception, or they wouldn't be talking about it. In all cases, I'm not sure. But I think where I see it really work well is in a system where they absolutely need to be able to do this. Okay, so then the administrator says, we need to do this. Find a legal way for us to do this. And then that systems administrator says, okay, here's how we do SEPA, here's how we do HIPAA, here's how we stay compliant with E-rate. We have a student system over here, another system over here that they can't go to where teachers can learn, innovate, and do new things and bring those best practices over here. They find a way.
So bring this back to earth for me.
Okay.
What are you talking about? Teachers using technology and networks. You brought up E-rate. What kind of things do they want to do?
Oh, they want to be able to use blogs. They want to be able to use wikis. They want to be able to podcast. They want to be able to let their kids publish to an authentic audience. So instead of writing a paper and giving it to you and hoping you like it, one person, that they can publish sort of to the world with a digital pen name in some safe way, or at least they want to experiment with that, maybe even in an inter-network sort of situation. But what they do is they see a tool that they know will engage their kids. They know this thing's going to grab their kids and prepare them for the 21st century where everyone publishes ubiquitously and collaborates ubiquitously. They want their kids to be able to try that out now. Okay? Now they just want to do that, right? I understand that they need to temper that. They need to tame the tool, find a way to do that in a safe way. So we need to engage the people who are in charge of networks in a way where they sort of want to help us do that and graduate kids from here's this closed network where kids can't even bump their head on anything wrong to here's the world where they can do anything.
And so that network, the techie is the one that's putting up the roadblock.
And I don't think they mean to. I think of their job. Their job is to make sure kids don't see porno. Their job is to make sure kids don't get in trouble or say bad things or cyberbully. Anything bad that happens on a system, that one person gets blamed. They are the lint trap for all things negative on the network. I get the one thing I think, though, that can help them is when I see those guys get networked and start talking to other people, their world changes. I think in the old days, Steve, their job was to protect systems from us. And now their job is supposed to be to empower you. Well, who gave them any kind of a staff development to get them from where they were to where they're going? So I don't blame them one bit, but I think we've got to start moving. And the only way I know to do that is to network them, get them sharing ideas and collaborating with other people who do their job, other places, and grow their capacity. Because I think everyone waits behind that firewall, that person. Everyone's pushing that edge there. And I know that feeling probably, but if they start moving forward, everyone can move with them as they go.
I'm going to give you a real-world example of this. As you know, my son works at Cerner Corporation. They are building the equivalent of Cerner's Facebook for the medical industry. It's a medical software company, okay? And they are building a worldwide medical Facebook because it's the way to communicate. And they recognize that's how society communicates and collaborates today. And so there will be places for doctors and nurses and patients and all the people involved in the health sciences to collaborate using their version of Facebook. You're talking about doing that same thing with kids.
Absolutely. That's it, just taking school systems and doing that. Now, if they can do that for medicine, where there are records and confidentiality issues and a million other things, if they can attack that and pull that off, education should be able to pull off something similar.
Should be a way to pull that off.
Our product is going straight out into the world where all of that stuff is being used every day. And if we're not teaching kids netiquette with all of those great tools, who is? It's your old basketball analogy.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, you know, if schools were responsible for teaching basketball, first hour would be dribbling, second hour would be shooting, third hour would be offense, fourth hour would be defense, and seventh hour would be English literature. I don't know why we have to make every kid learn English literature, but we do. But and they would have the kids learn basketball by sitting and listening. And we'd never let kids play the game of basketball until after they graduate. Right. So that, you know, that's kind of I use that analogy a lot for the way we organize schools. Right. Doesn't make sense.
Right. And you said a couple things. You said a good teacher would let kids touch a basketball.
Yeah, actually dribble it maybe in class.
And all kids would have to dunk, even if they couldn't reach.
Yeah.
All kids would have to do those same skills, and then we'd say, "Good luck. Hope you find a game of basketball sometime." Yeah. And that's not good enough.
Oh, by the way, you don't get to play basketball till after you graduate.
Right. What I see now, and kind of help me figure this out. What I see now is we wait for kids to do something wrong, and then we punish them. The teachable moment is after they've screwed up. When I think we need to go all the way back to first grade, when they first start touching technology or touching the digital world, and teach them sort of some kind of a life curriculum, and teach kids the simple stuff in first grade. By junior high, you know, it's more sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Socially responsible. We have those kind of conversations. By high school, we're talking about safety. We're talking about cyberbullying. All of these things to make sure that we've grown kids up in a way where they're good citizens there. Because right now, good citizens in analog. Good luck over there at the internet, because we block most of the stuff where you can make choices here, and we do it by law.
Hey, Kevin, I had an educator complain to me the other day. They said that kids write a paper, and they use all that instant message language and that texting language in there, and it's just driving the teacher crazy. And my point to the teacher was, but they use those tools in the real world. They will as kids. They will as people in society. They will use those tools in the workplace.
Right.
Instead of blocking them, shouldn't we be teaching them when and how to use them appropriately rather than saying you can't use them?
Absolutely. And I know teachers who do that. You know, how often in your career do you have the opportunity or the responsibility to use the 5-paragraph essay? Not that it's not a good thing to learn to do, and keep it in there if you want to, but I'm telling teachers, why aren't you assigning the chat speak haiku once in a while? Just, if nothing else, to validate that stuff, that it exists out there. I don't know.
Well.